We often have raster datasets of varying cell sizes, and we need to make the cell sizes compatible before we do many analyses. In this week's lab, we have two data sets here. There's the Valley9 dataset. So if I right-click on that dataset displayed, down at the bottom off the video, there's a Properties tab at the very end I can click on. And then I can look at the source information in that Properties tag, and down in the raster information, it lists the cell sizes in the X and Y. We can see that it's 9 units here, and if we look down at the spatial reference, we can see that that's a UTM meters, and so 9-meter resolution for the cell size. And if I do the same thing on this Valley3, a slightly different data set, again down in Properties at the bottom, in the source at the raster information, I can see it has a 3-meter cell size. So if I want to use these data together and tightly control how the data are transferred from one to another, I will do my own resampling. Now, some operations automatically resample when you're using multiple different resolutions, but it's often best to control that process yourself with a resampling, which we can do with the analysis window here in the tools, in the toolbox, and I can find the tool by doing the just typing in resample. It's in the data management tools under raster, and I can also then find it if I just look in the toolboxes themselves in this data management tools down here under raster. Oh, it's kind of tedious. In raster processing, there's a resample down here. So either way you find it, it's often good to look in the toolboxes to get an idea of what tools are available and what they call them. It's an iterative process. As you need to do things, you search and find them, and then you learn the name, and then you can search for them in the search window. Irrespective, we have resample here, and it's pretty straightforward. We just have the input raster, this Valley9. The output raster, we can tell you to call this something like Valley9 to 3 resampled, or some such thing that you can remember. And an output cell size, basically sort of the same as Valley3. It'll pull it in, or we could type the 3s in themselves. There's various types of resampling. You should know the difference between them. According to the book, you could use the nearest neighbor here. I'm just going to select by linear and then run. And it should resample that and then load the resampled data into my data layer. Yep, and there it is, the Valley9 to 3. Now if I right click and again go down and pick Properties in the source and look at the raster information, I see that this now has a 3 by 3 meter cell size, and I can use that in operations with my Valley3.